Trying to mend the pieces of your broken heart. Want to make a change but don't know where to start. Let's go on a journey trying something new. Let's go on the road to finding you. The art spot with Iyanla. Talking relationships, getting down to the thick of it. The art spot with Iyanla.
Greetings and welcome to Season 3 of the R Spot. I am excited to bring you 12 brand new episodes that hopefully will provide you with the information that you need to improve your relationship with yourself, your partner, and everybody else in your life. Today, we're going to examine what happens when you recognize the thrill is gone. How do you communicate to your partner that you are no longer mentally, emotionally, sexually, or spiritually fulfilled in this relationship? This is what I call, I love who you are, I love what we have, but my needs are no longer being met here with you. It's also what I call, you don't want to go, but you don't know how to stay. The way you experience this is that your boo, your sweetie, the person that once made your sunshine now gets on your very last nerve. You find everything about the person annoying or distasteful, and you may not be shy about telling them. You don't even want to see them. And their voice, it's like chalk screeching on the blackboard. Physically, you find things to fight about, and you pick fights because it gives you a reason to distance yourself, to occupy yourself with something else, or to leave the house. Then sexually, well, let's just say the thought of being intimate with a person that no longer fills your needs renders all of your parts and pieces dry and flat. In other words, you just don't get turned on. Needless to say, all of this is a problem, and it is not going to turn out well for either party unless something is done. Now, there are a couple of reasons for this sudden or slow walk, this turnoff. The first and the most common is you've simply outgrown each other. You've moved in one direction and they've moved in another, or maybe they moved and you didn't, or you moved and they didn't. But when partners grow apart, unless they recognize and address it quickly, the gap may grow so wide that it can never be bridged without a lot of really deep work and deep desire. Another common reason for dissatisfaction or unfulfillment is a relationship is that someone or something has caught your eye and your heart. We talked about this a bit in Can You Love Two People at the Same Time? But when it comes to dissatisfaction, unfulfillment, you have to be very careful because the thing that the other person brings you can be distraction, a means of avoiding something you don't want to deal with, like commitment or responsibility or accountability or even intimacy. You see, sometime when a relationship triggers up our unhealed places, rather than deal with it, deal with the real issue, we make up excuses. We make it about the other person and we become dissatisfied so that we don't have to look at ourselves. Finally, there may be something you've learned or discovered about your partner that has simply turned you off. You know, when we fall in love, we can be rendered deaf, blind, and stupid. Unfortunately, that wears off when we see who the person really is. And when we see that, we want to sing, "How did you get here? Who are you? How'd you get between my sheets and in my house? You're not supposed to be here." You just want to sing to yourself because you don't know who this person is. But here's the bottom line. If you are dissatisfied, whether you're acting it out or not, whether your partner has picked up it or not, please know this. It is not your partner's issue. It is your issue. And therefore, you have to do the work. So here are some things for you to consider. If you're the one that's disconnected, feeling dissatisfied, unhappy, and your relationship. You must get to the root of the unhappiness or the dissatisfaction. Notice I said your unhappiness or dissatisfaction. You don't have to tell anybody why your partner doesn't satisfy you. And when I say get to the root, I mean asking clear and pointed, specific questions to yourself, about yourself. Things like, do you still love the person? Do you still want to be in the relationship? Or is there something else, something more that you want? And if so, are you clear about what that is? Do you have any idea what it is you want, or are you just stuck in what you don't want? It is absolutely necessary that you ask yourself and search your mind, heart, and soul and come up with the radically honest answers that you need to figure out what's going on with you. Now, if the truth is you want out, then you must speak straight. You must tell the truth about where you are and what you want, and you must be willing to deal with the consequences. Consider this. No one wants to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't want them. And as long as you don't tell your partner the truth about what you really feel and what you really want, you are putting a weight on your partner that is not theirs to carry. They're trying to please you, and it's a losing battle. Don't do that. On the other hand, if you're just restless, trying to find yourself or find a new direction or get yourself some help, some counseling, some coaching, some mentoring, something that will help you sort through what you're going through from a neutral place. Listen, we all change. Sometimes our forever comes sooner than we expect. Whether you have a reason or a season that you can't define, your happiness and satisfaction, that's your business. Give yourself time and permission to sort through your feelings, and don't be afraid to admit the truth when you find it. If for whatever reason you know it's time to go, don't stay. Don't stay, making your partner miserable and responsible. Now, there are those times when a relationship must end, and it's no one's fault. Time passes, people change, the needs you once have, you no longer have, or they're no longer met by the circumstances in which you find yourself. You see, when the thrill is gone, get to the root without shame or guilt. Speak straight. Acknowledge and appreciate what you have and what you had. Resist the temptation to make your partner feel wrong or for you to feel wrong. Everything happens the way it needs to happen, including our need to want to be in a relationship or leave a relationship. When the thrill is gone, get to the root, acknowledge how you feel, and make a choice.
The Art Spot.
Today's topic was inspired by Linda Paloma. Linda, I sure hope this helps. Now, here's our question of the day. Is it possible to fall out of love? Well, for all the reasons I've already mentioned, it is quite possible to fall out of love. But let's just be clear about what that means. It could mean that your needs have changed. It could mean that you're ready to make a new choice, a different choice for yourself, and you can't see how your partner fits into that choice. It could also mean that the reason for the relationship has been fulfilled or the season for the relationship has come to an end. In either case, it means that you must stand for yourself within yourself and ask for what you need. Listen, all relationships go through a dry spell, a time when you feel like you just want out. Now, you can ride it out if you want to and see what happens, or you can cheat and lie and sneak around and make it the problem even worse. Some people just remember their commitment, they remember the love, and they ride the dry spell out. But here's the thing that you want to remember. Sometimes a dry spell is really the death toll. It really is. And if you know that to be true for you, don't sacrifice yourself to spare the other person. Sacrificing yourself almost always leads to bad behavior. And here's another thing I've discovered. By the time you get the courage to ask this kind of question, you already know the answer, as shocking as it may be. So is it possible to fall out of love? Absolutely. The real issue is, can you stand in that reality? Tell the truth about how you feel and ask for what you want without being emotionally guilted or manipulated into staying where you no longer want to be. Thank you for this question, because I know somebody out there needed to hear this.
The R Spot.
Now, here's a hallelujah truth for you today. There is no greater joy than being loved and loving others. But please know that any relationship that doesn't contribute to you feeling loved or being loved is a waste of time and happiness. Don't do that to yourself. So be sure to subscribe to the Iyanla Vanzant YouTube channel, like me on Facebook and on Twitter. And be sure to do everything that you can to keep your R Spot nurtured and hot. Until next time, be blessed.
I don't teach. I really don't care if you don't get helped or healed. I really don't. What I care about is being obedient to God. And God says, teach this, okay? So I'm going to teach it. Now, if y'all don't get it, you don't do the assignment, you don't do your homework, you don't buy the book, that ain't my issue. God said, teach, I'm going to teach. But I can't be attached to what you do with the teaching. That's where we get in trouble. I want to help people. I can't save myself from a bag of Lay's potato chips.